You want to destroy your marriage. I did these things for 50 years, not with an affair, not with fighting, quietly without any noise. Eleanor and I have been married 58 years. Everyone around us calls us an example. They ask for the secret. But the truth is, I almost destroyed it 3 times. With 3 things. And there's a good chance you are doing the same thing right now. You just do not know it yet. My name is Robert. I'm 84 years old. I lived with one woman for 58 years, and for most of that time, I did everything right on the outside and everything wrong on the inside. I worked, I provided, I did not cheat, I did not raise my hand. By every external measure, I was a good husband. But there were 3 things I did every single day without noticing, and each one slowly, very slowly, pulled the living thing out of our marriage. The first thing, stop hearing her. Just stay in your own head. Come home, sit down, open your phone. She is talking about the neighbors, the kids, something that happened today. You nod, but you are not there. She sees this. She always sees it. For the first few years, she tries to get through. She speaks louder. She starts sentences with something designed to get your attention. You nod anyway. So she starts talking less, then less again. And then one day you notice the house has gotten quiet. And you think, finally, some peace. You do not understand that this quiet cost her something, that she stopped trying to reach you. Eleanor came to find me. I was sitting with the newspaper. She was saying something that mattered to her about her mother, about some conversation she had had. I kept reading. I answered. She stopped in the middle of a sentence, looked at me, and walked out of the room. No door slamming, just quiet. I finished the article, went to bed. Morning came, everything was normal. I remembered that evening, 30 years later, sitting with a therapist, listening to Eleanor describe how long she had felt invisible. 30 years. I had not noticed for 30 years. There's a moment in every marriage that nobody catches as it happens, the moment she stops trying. Just one ordinary evening, she starts to say something, looks at you, sees the familiar expression on your face, and something inside her quietly closes. She finishes the sentence, goes to wash the dishes. Morning comes and everything is normal, but something shifted. You did not notice. She noticed everything. I asked Eleanor once when exactly she stopped telling me the things that mattered. She thought about it and named a year. It had just accumulated, and at some point it became clear. The second thing, stop noticing her. Everything she does every day will turn into background noise. Dinner on the table, clean shirt in the closet, children who got to school and back. She is not asking for a prize. She is not waiting for applause. But a person who is not noticed first feels a small, quiet hurt. Then they get used to the hurt. Then they stop expecting to be noticed. Eleanor came home from her painting class on Thursday evenings. She showed me a painting she had done. Small watercolor. The view from our kitchen window. I said nice and went to have dinner. I did not ask how long she had worked on it. Did not ask what she felt while painting it. She put the painting away and never showed me her work again. After her exhibition at 70, a guest said, "Your wife has been painting for so long, you must be her biggest supporter." I smiled and said nothing. I was ashamed. Think of 3 things your wife or husband did for you this week, not over your whole life. This week. Specifically with details. If you need more than 30 seconds, you are already doing the second thing. The marriage looks fine from the outside because all the functions are working, but underneath, the person doing the work is quietly disappearing from your field of vision. The third thing, put everything off until later. Not now. The kids are small. The busy season is not over. We are still paying off the mortgage. I'm tired. Later, when we retire, when the kids are grown, when things settle down. I said this for 20 years. Eleanor waited. First she believed it. Then she waited from habit. Then she stopped waiting. She started building her own life without counting on my presence. Friends, evenings out, weekends at her sister's. She was not doing it to spite me. She was simply filling the space I kept leaving empty. When I finally retired and said, "Well, now we have time," she looked at me calmly and said, "We always had time." And that fact hit me harder than any fight could have. The lighter time does not arrive on its own. You have to make it, because urgent things never run out. There is always something that needs you immediately. Closeness is not what happens automatically when you finally have time. It is what you choose when you do not have time, but you choose it anyway. I did all 3 at once for 40 years, and the marriage did not die, but it became something other than what it could have been. We lived like household partners, polite, unirritated, functional. From the outside, everything looked fine. On the inside, it was quiet and empty. Eleanor told me one evening that she felt lonely, not alone, specifically lonely, inside the marriage next to me. She took out a piece of paper and asked me to write 3 things I was grateful to her for this week. I picked up the pen and I sat there. 1 minute, 2, 5. Nothing came. Not because there was nothing, because I had never thought about it in those units. I eventually wrote 3 things. Awkward general. She read them, folded the paper, and said quietly, "This is the first time in 40 years you have written that down." I had nothing to say to that. We went to a therapist. It was hard for me. It felt like admitting I could not handle things on my own, but it saved us. Not the therapist himself. The fact that we finally started talking. Really talking. I found something recently in my desk drawer. An old card. Eleanor had slipped it into my suitcase before a work trip 40 years ago. I had found it, read it, put it away. Inside were 3 words, "I see you." She wanted me to know that she saw me, and she was asking for the same thing in return. I did not understand it then. I put it in the suitcase and left for the trip. 3 words, "I see you." That is what I did not give her